Greetings in Jesus' wonderful name and welcome to Riverside Chats. I began a series on Rebecca, the wife of Isaac, Rebecca, the mother of Esau and Jacob, Rebecca, the sister of Laban. We are looking at Rebecca's character. We'll look now at some of the lessons we can learn from Rebecca. We looked at some of the negatives and we also looked at some of the positives. And now we're going to look at some of the lessons we can learn. As we look at Rebecca, she is a combination of a beautiful face and a beautiful heart. Isn't that awesome? It's wonderful when beauty is not skin deep. When beauty is on the inside and on the outside. I know some people who are exquisitely beautiful on the outside. They have a wonderful figure with the right kind of dimensions. You look at them and they actually stop people in their tracks by their beauty. But at the same time, they can be so shallow with no beauty of the heart. Peter reminds his listeners, saying, as you concentrate on beauty, do not concentrate only on outward beauty. Concentrate also on the beauty of the heart. Marriage is wonderful. I've been married twice. The first time with a beautiful woman for 6 years and 4 months. In 26 days, she went to be with the Lord. She died when I was 27 years old. Left me with two beautiful young boys who are men, good men today. I met my wife Cheryl and I'm married to her close to 37 years. Marriage is one of the most delicate of life's relationships. If you have a good wife, you have a good life. If you have a bad wife, you can have a miserable existence. And so, for women, if you have a good husband who honors you, who treats you as his equal, you got it made. I've been blessed. My first wife was a South African. She was from Port Elizabeth, another province. I was from the Natal province. My current wife was born in Okinawa, Japan. Her father was in the military, the United States Army. So she's an army brat, as they call her. Born in Okinawa, moved to the United States when she was 4 months old. God has a plan for us. We were born on different continents, different hemispheres, different cultures, but we are so culturally close. Our marriage is by no means perfect, but it is a match made in heaven. I can look at both my spouses, the late one and the current one, and say both of them had a pretty face and a pretty heart, a beautiful face and a beautiful heart. Inward beauty is actually the beauty that surpasses outward beauty. I've known some people who looked great when they were young and don't look so great as they get older. And some people who are just mediocre, ordinary when they're young, but tend to be pretty nice looking when they are older. You know, when Eliezer first met Rebecca, she had such a good heart. She not only gave him something to drink, she volunteered to water his 10 camels. I told you that each camel drinks about 20 gallons of water. So here, this young shepherdess, this young maid, this young woman, Rebecca, carried 200 gallons of water from the well to the feeding trough. Eliezer had prayed to the God of heaven and said, God, I want to ask you a favor. Make it plain to me. My master Abraham is a man of faith, and I have the faith that you will send the right person to me speedily. My master is up in age. At this time, Abraham was close to 137 to 140 years old. Abraham felt his time to die was coming soon. You know, people have a premonition about death, and all of a sudden they'll tell you, I don't think I have a long time to live. But the same person might have told you in times past, I think I'm going to live a long time. I was talking to my wife just a few minutes ago, and I said, I'll be 65 in November, but I feel better than I've ever felt my entire life. I feel just as strong. My students, I also substitute in the schools. You know, kids at school, they're very honest. If you're ugly, they'll tell you you're ugly. If you're overweight, they'll tell you you're overweight. But most of my kids think I'm way younger than what I am. I may look young right now, but we all go older. Age catches up with all of us. We can defy age for just a little bit. Soon everything goes south. I might defy age for just a little bit, and you might say, Pastor, you look good for being almost 65. But it does catch up with us. Once a person with young skin and no wrinkles, a head full of hair. I thank God for my genetics. I'm glad I have hair. I tease sometimes and say I love hair so much, if I was bald, I'll wear a toupee. But the hair keeps falling. May not fall in large amounts. Some people go through traumatic experiences. I know somebody that's related to me who lost their hair very young, and chunks fell down. And they were telling me what a traumatic experience it was. Doesn't matter how you look on the outside. Work on the beauty of the heart. You know, if you're a woman, take all the time on your beauty routine. If you need to make your face pretty more than once a week, more than once a day, that's fine. Don't overdo it. Don't concentrate so much on the outward beauty. Be natural as you can. Makeup is a great thing among people who are lighter skinned, because sometimes people can look so pale without makeup. That makeup makes a great difference. Now, darker skinned people, I come from the Indian culture. In the Indian culture, people don't need makeup as much as they do. As you know, I use a little bit of makeup covering my vitiligo spots. As you can see, the coloration, there's a little bit of coloration there, and I just use it to cover my spots. I'm comfortable with that. I don't want you to see my spots on my face when I'm preaching to you God's word. It might be a distraction. You can't please all of the people all of the time. But we're not here to please people. We're here to please God. You know, there's some people say, well, that vitiligo, why don't you celebrate it? I guess you don't have it, so don't talk. It's easy to say celebrate it. And people who don't have it say, oh, I love it, I love it. And they're so fake sometimes. You don't have it, so you don't know that you love it. God is not against jewelry. Wear nice jewelry if you can. God is not against nice clothes. The right kind of clothes, the right kind of jewelry, the right kind of makeup for people who are European and have light skin. You may not be European, but also have light skin. Chinese people and Japanese people have yellow tones to their skin. Nothing wrong with a woman looking good. To be honest with you, when I see a woman groomed well, I admire the woman for looking good. There's nothing wrong with looking once at somebody, but when you take the second look and you look with lust, that's the problem. God is looking for more than a pretty appearance. Don't be an empty head and an empty heart with a pretty face. Oh, you're a real winner when you have someone that's pretty on the outside and pretty on the inside. I told you that many of us are mediocre. By mediocre, I mean we ordinary. We can look good. There are very few people that are drop dead gorgeous. Even the Bible uses few people as examples of being extremely beautiful. One was Esther, Hadassah, who was also called Myrtle, who became the queen of Persia, queen of Ahasuerus, the queen of Xerxes. The Bible talks of Abigail being beautiful. The Bible talks about Rachel being beautiful. The Bible talks about Bathsheba being beautiful. You know, David knew Bathsheba as well. Uriah was one of his mighty men. Do you know that? Bathsheba's grandfather was one of David's advisors. He must have known Bathsheba when she was a little girl. But oh, she grew up to be a beautiful woman. And David saw her with very scanty clothes. She was bathing on the rooftop of the palace. Like I say, 95% of us are mediocre. We can look good on a day. Even these wonderful film stars, they can look so great on the big screen because they have the right makeup, they have the right lighting. They can alter the picture a little bit. But sometimes when you see them in real life, they are just ordinary. That is why the beauty that outlasts facial beauty is the beauty of the heart. Rebecca had a good heart. She respected the stranger Eliezer. She respected and she honored him. She had the heart of a servant. Do you have a heart of a servant? The Bible says it's better to serve than be served. May God help you to develop a heart of gold. You hear people say, she has a heart of gold. She's so nice. He's so nice. When my wife Cheryl came to South Africa after we got married, she was coming to a new place. She didn't know anybody. My parents were not at the wedding. No one from our side was at the wedding because we got married in the United States. Just my two little boys, Emmanuel and Nathaniel, were there. They're not little now. They are giants. They were 5 and 2.5 at that time. But when I brought Cheryl home, they were so happy. They didn't know much about Cheryl, but they learned about Cheryl's character with the way she took care of the two little boys. They watched Emmanuel call her mommy. And Nathaniel called her mommy. You know, Nathaniel, my son, the second son, was 2.5 when his mother died. He has no recollection of his mother, no memory of her at all. All he remembers is Cheryl, his mother. When we taught at the Bible college, and Debbie Neck in the Ciskei near Alice, Fort Hare. We left Nathaniel with his brother at my mom's place because we came in half of the year and they were in school at the school I went to for just 6 months. Nathaniel was not in school, but when we went after a few weeks to see them, he said he wanted to come back with us. But we said there's no children and no one there, but he said yet he wanted to come back. You know what they did? Many people from a Hindu background didn't know my wife, but they knew a character by the way she loved another woman's children. She raised them up today. All her grandchildren come from my first wife. She has no grandchildren from my son David and his wife Marissa yet. Abigail is not married. But she had a beautiful heart. What about you? Do you have a beautiful heart? Develop the beauty of the heart. Remember, the best combination is a pretty face and a pretty heart. A beautiful face and a beautiful heart. God bless you and love you.